Hello everyone. So today we're going to look at getting a web shell, a reverse shell from a web server. So we've got a lot of reverse shells over the course of the trimester. So this is just another form of that's relatively common. You want to compromise someone's web server, either because you want to take down the web server, or you want to gain access to something on that web server, or more likely you want to pivot across the target's network, using that as an initial access point. Alright, so we're going to use this DVWA web app, and the first part of the challenge is to log in. This one's not too hard, it's just admin. Alright, so this has a couple of ways that you can get a reverse shell. Some of them are easier, some of them are a little harder, some of them are less realistic, some of them are more realistic. So we'll try all of them. Alright, so the first one would be this command execution. It's got a ping 192.168.1.101. It's my IP address. I have config SAM 101, and I click submit, and it looks like it's just running some command here. So we'd like to make it run an additional command that we give it, and then we'll do a reverse shell as we normally do with netcat. Alright, so when we do the lecture, we'll look at the source code and see exactly how we could know what to put. But a lot of times when you have one of these things, there's some Linux shell script running underneath, so we can guess that if we put a semicolon, whatever comes after will be our command that will run. All right, so if that's true, we'll try our traditional thing, which is we'll run netcat, and here I've got netcat.traditional. This is the form of netcat that we're used to. Got the -e command here to run a shell. I've got my IP address. I've got my port. And then there's this ampersand. Ampersand means when you run a shell command, it goes on. It doesn't wait for the command to finish running before it goes on to the next thing. Alright, so if you don't have this ampersand, the command here will just hang. Or the web page here will just hang. So let's go ahead and make a listening post. And then we'll run here. And then if I type ls, you can see that I am in fact on the server. If you type who am I, you see unfortunately I'm not root. If you type uname.ar, get the current Linux kernel version, you'll see I'm Linux 2.6. Alright, so this will be useful information later on, but for the moment let's just kill our reverse shell. Alright, so that's the easy way to do it. There's another way that's a little bit more realistic, where you upload a file, and let's see what I've got here. So I've got a couple of web shells, so here's one of them. Here's the most simple one. And this runs whatever you have in your post variable. So remember we talked about get and post. So post is one way to send data to the website. So we're going to have a form that posts some data, so some command, and we'll just run that on the system. And that'll be our shell. So that's not even really a reverse shell, that's just a shell, right? But we could use that to get a reverse shell, right? We could run netcat here again. All right, so let's go ahead and upload this file. All right, so here's where the file ended up. Whoops, I gotta get all of it. And what often happens with this type of attack is you then need a way to try and run some file that you've uploaded. This time in this web page they make that very simple. If you give it a page, we'll run it. So we'll just give it our whole path. And here we've got a little box, the form. If I type ls, you see I've got a shell. If I type who am I, you see it doesn't say. So this is not the most useful shell we could have. If I type uname.ar, I do get to see what my version is. Alright. Oh, now it's showing me my user. Alright. Just took a little while. Alright, so this is a shell. We could also put in netcat here, but there's another way we can do this. So it turns out that if you go to user share web shells PHP, type in ls, you'll see there's a number of reverse shells that Metasploitable provides for you just sort of by default. So I've copied mine over here because you have to edit it. So I'll just show you the command for that. Just copied that to my downloads. Here's my PHP reverse shell. And it's going to say you have to edit some things. So I have to edit my IP address in here, 168.1.101.1337. So this will be a full reverse shell. It's going to call back. Here you can see which shell I'm going to start, which is bin sh. If we particularly liked a different shell, we could put that here. So let me go ahead and make my listening post. Let me go back to my Kali. Alright, so I'm going to upload my shell again. Upload. And go to file inclusion. Same thing we did last time, right? So I'll just go ahead and go. Alright, so you see I got a reverse shell. bin/sh ss. And who am I? uname.ar. Alright, so you see that I have this shell. The reverse shell worked fine. He's able to navigate. Whoops. But I'm not root, right? I'm www-data. Alright, so I want to be root. So how do I do that? So I'm going to need some sort of privilege escalation. So what sort of privilege escalation do I need? I need one that targets a particular version of the Linux kernel. So I need something that will attack 2.6. Alright, so how do I find out if I have something that can do that? Alright, so let me clear here. So let's go. We talked a little bit about this earlier in the trimester, but let's go back here. So I want to search for my exploits. I want to search for ones that escalate my privilege. I want to look for ones that do Linux. I want to search for ones that target the kernel. And I want to search for ones that have 2.6 in the name. Alright. So there's a fair number. So how does this work? You can see over here it's telling you what version of the kernel thinks this is going to work for. So for example, here we have 2.6.39. Over here we have 2.6.32. So this one probably won't work. So there's a fair number. Here, for example, is a 2.610. That works all the way up to 2.6.31. So we've got 3.2. So this was probably not going to work. But here are the files that have these things. So let's see how they would actually work. So let's say we're going to look at this dirty cow one. So let's go ahead and see where these guys are. So let's do a find. So look anywhere for the name, and I'm looking for which one did I find here? 406161. Alright, so that's going to tell me hopefully where my exploit is. Yep. So I'm going to open this one in the editor. Alright, so here's how it's basically telling you how to compile this one, right? So gcc cowroot -o cowroot pthread cowroot, and it's going to do some stuff, and that'll be that, maybe. So part of the assignment is to figure out which one of these exploits actually ends up working for this particular install. So see if you can get root. One of these exploits on here will let you gain root privileges. So generally speaking, you just pop open one you think might work, as I just did. Look at the instructions. Probably going to want to copy that file over using the upload, and then on your shell you're going to want to build that file using the method that they just described. Alright, so give that a shot. Let me know if you have trouble. Also, this is the last video of the unit, so I just want to say it was a pleasure working with you guys this trimester. If you need any help as you go along, please don't hesitate to reach back to me. It was, from my perspective, it was a great trimester. It was great to work with you. Really, really enjoyed it. So I hope you all enjoyed this too, and hope it was educational. Take care. Happy hacking.